Hello friends. So in this section now we will discuss the qualitative aspects that determine the strength of an acid and a base. So as you can see, I have written that there are two factors that determine the qualitative aspects that uh, decide the strength of an acid and a base. So the first factor is the structural aspect and the second factor is the periodic trend. So under structural aspects, the acidic strength depends upon first factor is the electronegativity of the atom attached to acidic hydrogen. So what does this mean? This means that if we have an atom like X attached to hydrogen HX. So if this is an acid, so let me give you a clear example so that you can understand better. A very simple example is HCl. Let us imagine. So HCl. So here Cl is X or X is Cl. So HX. So if it's an acid, so it will give up its protons. So it will become H plus plus X minus. That means the strength of this acid HX will depend upon the electronegativity of this atom, the electronegativity of X. So the more electronegative is this atom X, the more will be the strength of an acid. And why is it so? Because the electronegative atom can hold the negative charges better. So what is the meaning of this? Can hold the negative charges better. So we have learned that the electronegativity factor. So what is electronegativity? Electronegativity is the tendency of an atom to abstract or to attract towards itself the bonding pair of electrons. That means if X is more electronegative, right, then it will tend to attract towards itself. This direction shows that this bond pair is moving towards X. So it will tend to attract this bond pair of electrons, so indicated by this single bond, towards itself since it is more electronegative. So when it will tend to attract the bonding pair, then it will develop a partial negative charge, and because of this breaking of this bond will be easier. HX bond will be easier, which will result in the easy donation of the protons by the acid, and finally breaking of this bond to give the H plus and X minus. So the strong acid is the one which can easily donate its protons. So how can it donate its protons easily? When there is an highly electronegative atom attached to hydrogen H, then it can obviously withdraw the bonding pair towards itself, resulting in the breaking of this HX bond, releasing the protons and forming the X minus ions. So this is why this electronegativity of this atom X is very important in deciding the acidic strength. Okay, so hope you understood this point. Then the next point says that the strength of an acid depends upon the stability of the conjugate base. So what is a conjugate base? Like here we have seen this reaction of HX. So let's get back to this reaction again. Let us take this same reaction. So conjugate base is the one which remains after giving up of protons. So this is our conjugate base, right? X minus is our conjugate base, and this conjugate base, after giving up its protons, the acid after giving up its protons and finally forming this conjugate base, then this conjugate base should be very much stable. Then only it will be quite logical that the acid is a strong acid, because when the acid is strong, then it will easily give up its protons, right? And only when the X minus is or the conjugate base is stable, then only the acid will have a tendency to give up its protons. Until and unless X minus is stable, so there is no tendency of an acid to give up its protons, or in other words, to break the HX bond. HX bond will be broken only when the resulting X minus is stable, right? Okay, so this is the second factor. Then coming to the periodic trend. So periodic trend will discuss mostly the variation of the electronegativity, the periodic variation of electronegativity of X, that is within a group and a period. That means this the X atom, the atom which is attached to hydrogen in an acid. So we will discuss the electronegativity En. Let me write it as En, electronegativity of X. So that is an important factor. The electronegativity of X is an important factor, that how it varies within a period and in a group. So the periodic trend of the variation of the electronegativity of this atom X is also a very important factor to decide the strength of an acid. Okay, so hope you understood both these structural as well as periodic trends, the structural aspect as well as periodic trend, to determine the qualitative aspects for the strength of an acid and a base. So hope you understood these two factors and hope it helps. Thank you.